Wednesday show on Thursday. Wednesday show on Thursday. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. I don't know if anyone's even going to be out there because we're a day late than what we're used to. But here we are, anyways. So today we are doing a Wednesday show on Thursday, and we'll explain why in just a second here. I'm also trying to get this stuff done here because I'm so far behind. Life has been hectic for the last week here. Oh, we got people coming on. Hello, Shelly. How you doing? So this is a Wednesday show on Thursday episode. So for those of you guys who may have missed it, hey Frank fam, how you doing? I did post a thing yesterday on both YouTube and the From Screen and Theme Facebook page, letting people know that we were going to be missing out on our show for this week on Wednesday, but we were still going to come back and do a bonus episode tonight. Tonight's episode will be a 30-minute episode. We're going to be doing a shorter episode, which I do apologize, but let me explain myself real quick here. So for those of you guys who do not know, I had my niece and nephew in town for the last 5 days, 6 days, some days. They flew in on Sunday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they just flew out a few hours ago, so Thursday. So 5 days with 3 full days of the park, 2 days before that. And then on top of that, it's been crazy. So yesterday we were coming back from the park. I was thinking I might have enough time to get from my parents' condo where my car was parked, the place that they're staying at for right now, and then hopping in Herbie and driving over here and doing a Wednesday show. And then we got back and my nephew started cuddling up with me, and I was like, I can't do a show. I'm going to spend time with my family and just kind of relax with my family and the kids and just have some fun. So they left today, and then today was also the bib pickup for the Princess 5K. So they left around 7. Then I hopped in my car, drove over to bib pickup, picked up the bib, and then I still hadn't been to the park today because we did not do a park today. And so then I ran over to Epcot for my Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I found out that it was over an hour wait. So then I left Guardians of the Galaxy and went over and we did Figment. I met up with 2 of my friends over there. We did Figment. And then I rushed home. I got home about 15 minutes ago, and here we are. So it's been absolute chaos. It's been absolutely hectic, but it's also been a lot of fun. But we're going to be doing a shorter episode tonight, mainly due to the fact that we have the 5K, the Princess 5K is going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be waking up roughly in about 5 hours for it. So if I wasn't already tired, yeah. So this is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do a bracket episode. Of course, before we get to that, let's start off with the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 809th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is a special Wednesday show on the Thursday episode where we're going to be continuing our bracket to figure out what you think is the best Disney soundtrack of all time. But of course, before we get to that, let's get to our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we'll be coming to you from, but I promise you we will always be coming to you from Disney. So make sure you join us every single Saturday around 1 o'clock Eastern time. However, this week, to continue to mess up with your guys' schedules, the episode will not be taking place at 1 o'clock. It'll be taking place a little bit later. As long as I remember, please feel free to send me a message and be like, hey, are we still doing Saturday in the Park? Because I will be running the 10K in the morning, and I will be coming back, editing my video for the 10K, and then uploading it, and then taking a long nap. So there is a very high chance it will not be at 1 o'clock, but probably later in the day. So if you do not see a broadcast from me by like 5 o'clock, send me a message, and I'll probably be at the park and be like, oh yeah, maybe I should record the next thing. But while we're on the thing, we have been going up like crazy once again with our subscriber count. So let's take a quick look at that. I don't know if we're going to go into any bonus episodes or bonus things tonight, but we are currently sitting at 8,338 subscribers. So thank you everyone out there who has subscribed. Keep on sending your friends, your loved ones, your enemies, whoever, to come over and subscribe. Let's keep on making this number go up and up and up and get to 10,000 sometime in the very near future. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by the wonderful, the always amazing, the super duper Patreon pals. Patreon pals. Now I'm trying to blank on what the song is. Thank you, our Patreon pals. If you're one of the Patreon pals out in the chat room right now, give us an oh yeah. Okay, let's get to it. Like I said, tonight we're going to be doing a shorter episode. We're going to be doing a bracket series episode. And we don't have a lot of people who are on right now, which is okay because we are off by a day. But hopefully the people who aren't here are not going to be upset if one of their favorite soundtracks of all time gets deleted from this entire thing. But today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing our bracket series. We're going to be going through and having it so we'll probably get through like 3 or 4 matchups here. Let's hear. Do you know any of the characters that will be along the course tomorrow? No, they never release the characters until you're actually running past them. There are some apps out there that I follow where if you follow it, what it'll do is like people who are further ahead, they'll post in the group in this like, app saying, hey, first character is going to be Mickey Mouse. And then you kind of know who to look out for. But there's no official thing that they ever release beforehand. All the characters are always a surprise, which I like. I would rather not know who the characters are than be like, okay, these are the ones I need to get because I'm going to try to get I'm going to try to get all of them anyways. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired, so I do apologize. Okay, so for those of you guys who've never joined us for our bracket series before, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going through it and having it so you guys are voting between 2 different things in the history of Disney soundtracks. That is going to be our brand new bracket, or not a brand new bracket, but this is the bracket that we are going to be going through right now. So you guys are going to be going through and figure out what our next situation is going to be. We currently have 18 things in our round 2, our top 32, to go into top 16. I'm going to have it so you guys go through and send me your the first 2 numbers to pop up are going to be the ones going head to head. Did you buy any merchandise at the expo today? I literally had 15 minutes to get in and get out before the expo closed. I really am really everything today has been very I'm very low on time today. But I've had a great day. I've had a great day. I'm just no, I didn't even get inside of most of the things today. All right, we got number 6 is going to be going up against number. We need 2 numbers. I'm afraid that this episode might be. It might only be. We've got a few people who are watching right now, but I'm afraid that we only might have 2 people voting, which might make things a little bit more difficult. It also will probably make things have it so I'm going to be going through and killing a lot of things tonight. Okay, against number 3. Number 6 against number 3. Let's check out what number 6 and number 3 are going to be. This is going to be a real... Oh, this is going to be a... Oh, there's going to be tears right now. Okay, so this is going to be a very... Both of these soundtracks are... Let me just write down this one. Both of these soundtracks could easily, if they weren't going against each other right now, they both could easily make them into the final 4. But unfortunately for you guys, you guys have put these 2 head-to-head against one another. Now, let's start off with the one that is more recent, which is going to be kind of a weird thing because you'll probably think the other one is more recent. But let me explain. So, or not the most recent, the older. We're going to start with the older, the original, and then we're going to go to the one that is newer, but also feels like it should be more old than the other one. I, again, apologize. I am exhausted. So... our first one is "Come Stop Your Crying, It'll Be All Right. Just take my hand, hold it tight." Of course, we were talking about Tarzan. Tarzan came out in 1999 and took the entire world by storm because not only did we think that we're going to be seeing a movie about a child who is raised by gorillas and then becomes the king of the gorillas, but what we did not know at that time was Phil Collins was going to come out with one of the most amazing soundtracks of all time. Every single song in this is probably some of the greatest Disney songs of all time. You can rock out to them, you can have a great old time. If you ever did Tarzan Rocks, which used to be the stage show that used to be found over where Finding Nemo, the musical, is found over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, at one point that was Tarzan Rocks, and that was one of the most thrilling experiences to ever do at a Disney park. I remember my little brother at the time, who was probably like 10, 11, somewhere around there. We got out of it, and he said, "That felt like I was at a rock concert." And I was like, "Dude, you've only gone to the Wiggles." We had never gone to the Wiggles. Our parents never took us. Uh, I went when I was 27. That's not true, but I wish it was. So Tarzan is filled with so many classic songs like "You'll Be in My Heart," "Son of Man," and of course "Trash in the Camp," among many, many others. Every single song in this soundtrack is one that completely takes the world by storm. Everyone's loving it, everyone's singing, everyone's dancing, everyone's having a grand old time. But it's also going up against one of the most amazing soundtracks of all time. And while we've gone through a lot of different soundtracks in both television and movies, there is only one soundtrack only on this list that is coming exclusively from Broadway. Now, back in 1995, Disney on Broadway launched with Beauty and the Beast, and since then we had so many classic Disney on Broadway shows, but one of the best, in my opinion, actually the best, in my opinion, was Mary Poppins on Broadway. Now, in Mary Poppins on Broadway, we got several of the classic songs like Step in Time, but with a little bit of a twist, and Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but with a little twist. They actually spell it out. SUPERCALIFRAGI. You get it. And then on top of all of that, we have a few brand new songs, including the song that I actually quote literally every single day, or I'm sorry, not every day, but every single week here on the Wednesday show when I do with my sign out by saying, "Anything can happen if you let it." Now, it is time for you guys to figure out which one do you want to have move on. Is it Tarzan or Mary Poppins on Broadway? Throw your votes into the comments. Starting right now, you've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes out there. Anything can happen if you let it. Life is out there waiting, so go and get it. If you reach for the stars, all you get is the stars. But we found a brand new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in. I'm so sad that Mary Poppins is about to die. No! We're going to give you guys a few more seconds. It shows right now that we do have 11 people who are watching. Again, it is Thursday. It's not Wednesday. But if you are one of those 11 people who are watching and you're not voting right now, well, shame on you, because every vote does count here, and you might be able to save Mary Poppins on Broadway. But it looks like you're going to kill it and have Tarzan move on to the next round here. We're going to give you about 22 more seconds to throw your votes in, but I think we all know exactly what's going to go down here. So we're going to give you a 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, Tarzan, 1 Mary Poppins, Tarzan will be moving on to our next round here. And you know what that means. I need 2 numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 16. Is it? Yeah, 1 and 16. Throw them into the comments starting right now. 1 through 16, 2 numbers, first 2 numbers to pop up. We'll be going head to head against one another. Okay, we got number 4 and we've got number 7. 4 and 7 are going to be the first 2 to pop up there. 4 and 7 will be going head to head. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys are doing terrible choices tonight. I love Tarzan. I love Mary Poppins Returns, and that was really difficult for me to watch. Or not Mary Poppins Returns, Mary Poppins on Broadway. But this is going to be difficult. All right. Now, there's a few different things that you could go through and talk about for me when it comes to my love of Disney. I mean, you guys know a lot about the things that I love. If you were good to go through and say, Brent, what on earth is your favorite thing about anything and everything Disney? You guys would probably say maybe The People Mover. Maybe it would be Magic Kingdom, or taking trips on a Disney cruise. There's so many different things that I love. But if you would go through and talk about two of the things that I love more than anything else about Disney, it's probably the two that you guys just voted for. So this is going to be a tough one to go for. If this comes down to a tie, I really don't know who I'm going to vote for, because it's like choosing between two children. But let's go through here. Your first two options, or your next two options here, is starting off back in the 1980s. We got one of the greatest songs and soundtracks of all time. Boom, bump, boom, bump, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. We got the DuckTales logo right here. I love DuckTales. DuckTales is going to be the first one. Now, the DuckTales soundtrack doesn't have a whole lot of vocals. They do have a lot of different instrumentals played throughout the entire series. But the DuckTales theme song is probably one of the most iconic theme songs of all time. And I'm not just talking about Disney theme songs. It is one of those theme songs that I promise you, if you said it to most people, they would know the words to most of the song. That and probably not the French Prince. I'm so tired. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air are probably two of the most iconic soundtracks that almost everyone knows the words to, still to this day. DuckTales, I love you. However, going up against DuckTales is another thing that I just absolutely adore. If you were to ask me what is one of the best things that Disney's ever done, it's this thing right here. Now, back in 2003, people were going to Disney World, just kind of, unsuspecting how their life was going to change forever. And then the lights would dim at the Magic Kingdom, and up in the sky, wishes, dream a dream, wishes set you free. The Wishes soundtrack, which was accompanying the fireworks song at the Magic Kingdom from 2003 all the way up until 2016, 17, 18. I can't remember exactly right now off the top of my head. But it was one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. It is one of those soundtracks that I still listen to on a very, very regular basis. It was one of the soundtracks that me and my roommate Awan used to literally reenact every single night to the disgust of our other roommates, because we would watch it every night from Fantasyland, where I worked and he worked, and we would go out and reenact it for our roommates all the time, and they absolutely hated us for it. But I absolutely loved every single second of Wishes. And that is why it is so difficult for me to choose between which one should move on to the next round. So that's why I'm making you choose. Which soundtrack would you like to move on to the next round? Is it Wishes or the DuckTales soundtrack? You guys have about 90 seconds to throw your votes out, starting right now. These are both really good soundtracks. I mean, DuckTales, it just brings me joy. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo! Oh my gosh, DuckTales. I did not think DuckTales was going to potentially win, but DuckTales right now is potentially going to win. Oh, wait, but wishes, dream a dream, wishes set you free. I bet if I had a lot of my college program people watching right now, Wishes would win in a landslide. If this was all college program people from my era, there is no way Wishes would lose. But I feel like we might have Wishes lose. If DuckTales wins this, I hope that DuckTales goes all the way. You've got about 20 seconds left to vote, by the way. If you guys are out there trying to figure out if you should vote. I can see how many people are watching. I can also see how many people are voting, and we have a lot of people who are watching that are not voting. So, do your duty. Vote. I bet sometimes when we're doing these episodes about the brackets, and I keep on going on and on about voting, there's people who like tune in who have no idea what we're talking about, and they're like, oh, it's like a political podcast. Like, no, we're just voting for what our favorite Disney things are. Okay, we got 3, 2, 1. We got 1 for DuckTales, 2 for DuckTales, 2-1, Wishes gets the vote, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, DuckTales. In the shocker, is actually moving on to the next round. I did not think DuckTales stood a chance. I am not going to lie to you guys at all. I just assumed that DuckTales was going to be going down with the ship, as Eric just said. But wow. Okay, let's go on to our next round. We have time for at least 1 more round, maybe 2 more rounds before I have to head off to bed for this 5K. I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 14. Throw those numbers out in the chat room right now. First 2 numbers to pop up will be our ones going head to head against one another. Wishes. Oh, wishes. I can't. If I was more alert right now and not so tired from playing with kids for the last 5 days, I would be more upset about wishes going away. But I'm too tired. So it's probably the best thing. 3 versus 2. 3 versus 2. And I am starting to see that there is a pattern going on tonight, because every single thing that has been popping up tonight are things that I truly, absolutely love the soundtracks to. Like, this is going to be a very, this is like a very difficult night for me. I already had to say goodbye to my niece and nephew. That was difficult. And now you guys are making me put these things that I truly love head to head against one another. Not fair, people. Not fair. Okay, let's go through here. Oh, 14 is the next one. Let's go through here. We have 2 numbers, 3 and 2. Let's start off with the more actually, both of these are kind of modern movies, which, when you really think about it, let's start off with the original soundtrack that did not have any inspiration from anything else that Disney had ever done. I am Moana. Gives it away. I was going to sing a completely different song. That's the first one to pop up. Moana. Moana is a soundtrack that came out, obviously, with the movie Moana. And the Moana soundtrack is filled with so many amazing classic songs. Things like, there's a line with the... Wait, I'm completely messed up. There's a line with the size. Oh no! There's a line with the sky meets the sea, and it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. How far it goes is an amazing song. I love the Moana song. Moana, make way, make way. And then eventually you've got like the song where she's singing to the fire. Oh, and she's like, I know who you are. Every single song on Moana, I think, is just a great song, with the exception of Shiny, which is an okay song. It's not the worst song, but it's also not the best song. And of course, every time we talk about Moana, I have to go into the, well, come to think of it, kid, honestly, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. That was Maui just messing around. I killed an eel. I buried its guts. Sprouted a tree. Now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the tapestry here on my skin is a map of the victors win. Anyways, you get it. So Moana soundtrack, an absolute banger, as the kids say it. But going up against Moana is another soundtrack which, in my opinion, does not get enough recognition. Because there are some soundtracks that have stood the test of time and have been unbelievable soundtracks and sound albums of our life. Things like pretty much anything that the Sherman Brothers have done, back in like the 1960s and 1970s, they did so many great soundtracks. Of course, also things like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, etc., etc., etc. But sometimes those soundtracks of our past inspire soundtracks of the future, especially when it comes to the fact that sometimes a rare thing happens, and 50 years after an original movie came out, a sequel comes out. And that is the case for Mary Poppins Returns. In Mary Poppins Returns, we have one of the most underrated soundtracks of all time, in my personal opinion. And one of the most beautiful things about the soundtrack is every time that they're going through and singing a song like, Where the Lost Things Go, there is tunes in it that also call back to the original songs. So that one would actually call back to Feed the Birds. There's things like Light a Little Light Fantastic, which plays back to Step in Time. And then, of course, my personal favorite, actually one of my favorite Disney songs of all time, There's Nowhere to Go But Up, which pays tribute to Let's Go Fly a Kite. And with that in mind, we have now 90 seconds for you guys to vote on which one you would like to move on to the next round. Is it Moana soundtrack or the Mary Poppins Return soundtrack? You have 90 seconds to vote starting right now. Again, we're voting for the soundtracks, people. We're not voting for the movies. We're voting for the soundtracks. I know which one I would vote for. I don't think it's the one that everyone else would vote for. I think it's going to be the one that loses, but that's fine. This is a vote, and if the thing I want loses, well, that's just the theme of the night. Because I think everything so far that I've wanted to win has lost. So that is one of the downsides of doing a podcast. Is sometimes you just watch the things that you love slowly die in front of you. Okay, you guys have about 30 seconds left to throw your votes out there. We might have time for one more vote. I think we're going to vote. I think we're going to do one more vote before we wrap this up here. Just because half this episode is just me exhausted and like falling over my words and trying to remember what I was going to say. I also keep on checking things like my GoPro charging enough right now? Because we're going to be doing a race. We're going to be waking up in 4.5 hours. So let's see here. Is that GoPro charged? Okay, we are going to go to your votes right now. Starting here, we've got it's at 93% right now. For those of you guys who are curious, 1 and 2 for Mary Poppins Return. Such a great movie and soundtrack. 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. Moana's in the lead. 3-3. Mary Poppins has tied it up. 4-3. Moana's in the lead. 5-3. 5-4. Moana barely pulls ahead and gets the win. That is the second Mary Poppins thing that you guys have killed tonight. I just would like to have that on record. That I'm not sure I like when Frank Pam are all on the same page. That's true. I don't know if I like that either. Sometimes I do, but tonight, not so much. Because they've been killing off everything that I love dearly. I mean, Mary Poppins Returns would win in my opinion. That is just my personal opinion. I love the Nowhere to Go But Up scene in that movie. I think that is one of the most beautiful and one of the most amazing Disney songs of all time. But you guys killed it. So I need 2 numbers from you. We're going to do one more vote tonight, and then I'm going to head off to bed. So I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 12. 1 and 12. Throw your votes into the thing starting right now. I'm looking through a few of these things. And a few of these things right here, if these soundtracks that you guys have chosen tonight had gone against some of these other ones, Mary Poppins Returns would still be here, Wishes would still be here, and Mary Poppins on Broadway would still be here. But I need 2 numbers between 1 and 12. It's cold here, Greg just wants to sleep in the basement. Fair enough. All right, first 2 numbers, 1 and 12. Throw them out there. One of these things, I am shocked. What did this even beat? How is that a... Oh, that's sad. That's... All right, 7 against 12. Is this going to be another one that's going to make me cry? Probably. Oh, yep. Oh, this is going to be a vote. This is going to be a vote, people. I think this is going to be one of those matchups that will change the course of mankind forever. Like literally forever. So let's start off with the newest one. A few years ago, we had a movie that had a soundtrack that everyone could not stop singing. I'm not talking about Frozen, because Frozen was one of those situations where everyone could not stop singing it. But this time around, we had so many different songs from a soundtrack that just took the world by storm. And it's also one of those that I feel like everyone could see a bit of themselves in a different character in this movie as well. And it helped, because these soundtracks help tell the story of the family madrigal. Now, in the movie Encanto, we've got so many different songs like I'm the Strong One, I'm Not Perfect, and it's... I'm so tired right now. We had Louisa's song. We had the Family Madrigal, which is just a great song. And then, of course, the song that completely tore the world apart with its amazingness was "We Don't Talk About Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno, but it was my wedding day." Encanto. We all know Encanto. We all love Encanto. Encanto is a great film. However, back in the 1990s, another movie and its soundtrack made young Brent Dodge believe that he was into the biggest band of all time. And it's been, oh my gosh, it's been 30 years since this movie came out. But I still feel like I am a huge fan of this band because bum ba-da-dum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. I got myself stand a Goofy movie. The soundtrack for a Goofy movie is filled with so many amazing songs from "For the First Time Ever, We're Seeing It Eye to Eye." For the first time ever, seeing it eye to eye. And then, of course, we have songs like Stand Out above the crowd. Even if I gotta shout out loud, tonight is the only place you'll see. Gonna stand out till you notice me. Overall, a Goofy movie, great songs, and not only just the songs that Powerline sings, but after today I'm gonna be cruising. After today she'll be mine. And then of course you get the one guy during the soundtrack who sings, "I'm gonna sit on my butt. I've got less than an hour, and when this is ended, I'll either be famous or you'll be suspended." And then of course we also have songs like "There are times you drive me, shall I say, bananas." And you think my music sounds like monkeys in a zoo. Anyways, we're going to vote because I need to go to bed. Throw your votes in for either Encanto or a Goofy movie. You've got roughly 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Both these soundtracks are great. I'm not going to lie. I would vote for a Goofy movie. So if this comes down to a tie, I'm going to vote for a Goofy movie. I'm just putting that out there. If you guys want to vote for Encanto, great. If you want to vote for a Goofy movie, great. I honestly love both soundtracks. Honestly, when I look at the list of what you guys have right now, almost every single one of these I would 100% put on the same exact list. I would put this in my top 32 of best Disney soundtracks. There are a few on here where I'm like, I don't know how this made it into the top 32 from the top 64, but some people must have liked it because here we are. Nobody else but you. It's just our luck. We're stuck together. What's the other song? There's another really good song in there. Lester's Possum Farm. That's not the song. What's the, oh. Do you need a break from modern living? Do you need a... Hey, Janine, how you doing? Okay, let's go to your votes here and figure out what is moving on. I'm positive it's going to be Encanto. I'm sad because not a single song or a soundtrack that I wanted to win tonight has won. Okay, we got 1 for Encanto, 2 for Encanto, 3 for Encanto, a Goofy movie, but it's so close. 4 for Encanto and a Goofy movie. We do have it, so Encanto will be moving on to our next round there, which bums me out, but that's okay. That's the whole point of the show tonight, is to bum me out. Okay, but on that note, like I said multiple times here, I am exhausted. And 2, I do have a 5K that I'm waking up for in 4.5 hours. So we're going to be wrapping up tonight's broadcast a little earlier than we usually do. I do apologize, but we will be coming back to our bracket series probably in 2 weeks. Next week, we'll be doing a recap of the Princess Half Marathon weekend. And then the week after that, I don't think we have anything. Oh, wait, no, we do. Do we have, wait, what day is that? Let me look at the dates here. Oh, wait. Before we go, this is what's going to be. Next week, we're going to have a episode that's doing a recap of the Princess Half Marathon Weekend, which starts tomorrow, ends on Sunday. And then the following week, we're going to be doing an episode all about It's Tough to Be a Bug before that attraction goes away. So that way, if anyone who watches it has the chance to actually go out and experience it, they can go through and take a look at some of the details and the history and the fun facts and all that other stuff that we're going to be talking about it. And then after that, we are going to be going through and doing the next week after that, we'll be going through and doing an episode continuing our bracket series. So I do apologize that we had it short tonight, but at the same time, we had fun. We had exhaustion. We had a lot of very exhausted Brent moments, but at the same time, we had a lot of fun. So on that note, I would like to remind you that tonight's episode, again, was sponsored by our Patreon pals. Patreon pals. They did not vote for anything that I wanted to put through. If you're one of our Patreon pals out in the chat room, give us an oh yeah. All right, thank you everyone out there for joining us. As always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Have a great week, everyone. And also, before we go, one last thing. I'm going to be uploading the 5K, the 10K, and the half marathon videos up as soon as I finish the race. So as soon as I finish the race, I'm going to come here. I'm going to edit the videos, and then I'm going to get my sleep. Please, I cannot say please enough for this. Please make sure that you guys are giving them the videos a like, a comment, all that other stuff. Help it boost up in the algorithm, because 99% of the time I am the very first person to post these videos. And by liking those videos and commenting on those videos, it does help it so more and more people see it. And then we can get more subscribers, more Patreon pals, and then I can, continue to bring you more and more Disney fun throughout the years. So give it a like, give it a comment as soon as it pops up there tomorrow. Just make sure your notifications are on, which is someplace down here. I'm not sure exactly where. But thank you guys, everyone. I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all a little later. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I can't stand this kind of pressure.